Welcome to Therapy Unlocked, where we discuss all things therapy from an unlocked perspective. I'm Emily Huffman, and I'm here with Katrina.
Hello, Katrina Mondragon, licensed professional counselor. All right, so like I said, I am a professional, but not your professional, so nothing we're going to talk about today should be taken as medical, legal, or otherwise advice. This podcast is purely for education and amusement. That is it. That's the disclaimer.
Education, amusement, and because I would like to be famous. So please like, subscribe, follow, engage, hate on us, join the conversation, find us on YouTube, find us on Instagram, find us anywhere where you listen to podcasts, because I love a creeper and I love a hater and I love a lover. So if you like the podcast, if you dislike the podcast, I'd like to hear from you. So that kind of brings me pretty seamlessly to coping mechanisms, because the other thing that I thought we'd talk about on this day of kind of needing a pick-me-up and emotional support beverages were small, weird coping mechanisms, because an emotional support beverage is a coping mechanism. And I like weird habits and silly coping mechanisms. So I'll kick it off. One of my very favorite small, weird coping mechanisms that I have right now, I came up with my little girl, who specifically asked me to talk about her on the podcast. So we have a stuffed raccoon. And when we are feeling froggy and we would like to jump at each other, we yell at the raccoon instead. We take the raccoon and we go, at the raccoon. Because sometimes, I don't know if other mothers and daughters can relate, we would like to say, to each other, because we have attitude problems. So we like to share that attitude with our stuffed raccoon. And we share this stuffed raccoon back and forth. We have shared custody of the stuffed raccoon. And so that's my silly, weird habit that helps me cope right now. And I share it with my little girl. And do you have any?
I do. And it really sounds like a damn it doll is what you took and made your own.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, damn it doll is a real thing. You can Google it. But my weird thing is, because I was a former cigarette smoker, and thankfully I've been free from those almost 6 years now. And so what I did not lose was the hand to mouth this. So this is a clove bud essential oil. And what I do with my essential oils, rather than rub them on me, is I simply sniff them. I take them as I used to take a hit or a drag of a cigarette. I now take a little sniff.
Wow. And you find that effective?
Well, one of the things that people don't realize, when they are smoking a cigarette, they are taking about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how long they puff. They are changing their environment. They are breathing deeply. They are focusing on something that is not the thing that was upsetting. All of those things are sensory related. And so this is engaging my senses in the same way that was helpful from cigarettes. So that relaxing thing that I got from cigarettes, I never stopped my smoke breaks. I just stopped the nicotine and the tar and the nastiness.
Take your smoke break without smoking.
Yes.
That's the tagline right there. That's amazing. So you take your smoke break with essential oils, and that's great. That's an amazing workaround. I have been cigarette free for just over a year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I am nowhere near as cool as you. I did not use essential oils. I used a vape. But I would say to anybody who wants to quit that that's valid. It did help me, and I did it. And at this point in time now, I am down to maybe one a month. So it is valid to step down with the vape. A lot of people think that the vape is just a switch it out. You know, you are going from one nicotine to another, but it's not the same. And it's not the same. You can step down on them. And then they do have, I'm now on a 0 nicotine. So nice. I'm on a 0 nicotine once a month, and I just keep, and the flavor lasts in those for so long. Like, that's why it'll last for the entirety. Like, they'll last so much longer than the other ones.
I have one more coping skill to share that I don't know if you remember, but we kind of came up with this one together when we used to live together.
Play-Doh.
So anytime it's needed, it is near. And every once in a while, it gets switched out because Play-Doh does get old.
Play-Doh for your panic attacks. Let me tell you, a little tactile stimulation when you are having a crash out makes all the difference in the world, folks. I love some Play-Doh time. I love that it lets you get out of your head. You can try to make something, makes you think of something else. It gives you something to do with your hands, gives you some sensation, gives you something to smell, touch, feel, in every way. Play-Doh is such a useful thing. And you know what I was thrilled to see?
Don't eat the Play-Doh.
Don't eat the Play-Doh. Don't taste the Play-Doh. I mean, if you have to taste the Play-Doh, I'd rather you taste the Play-Doh than
spit it out.
Completely
Don't swallow
crash
it.
out. But spit it back out again. Don't eat it. Same thing I say to my kids. I was so happy to see Play-Doh though when I walked into my daughter's classroom on her very first day of school when she started school. And I think it's for a very similar reason to why we chose Play-Doh. I think it calms kids down. I think it calms kids and adults down just the same.
Well, I always say nothing
that,
magical happened when we turned 18. We didn't go bibbity boppity boo and change from children to adults in a way that means that we don't like the things that we liked as children. I still like Play-Doh.
Facts. So what comfort items or rituals do you have that might be in that small, weird coping mechanism category?
Oh, so like besides the ball, I
love the ball.
Lily.
I
keep Lily nearby
Lily.
just to hug and to squeeze and to love on. She's my comfort animal.
Yeah, I love
Stuffed
Lily.
Animal. She sits behind me. So is that what you meant? I
always wear a necklace. I would say that it's a comfort item and it's a ritual.
If you meant along those lines, I have something else.
Yeah. So all of my necklaces mean something to me. They either come from someone or something. Almost. I would not say there's rarely a day that I do not have a necklace on, and I don't think I haven't had a necklace on for. Oh, gee, I don't know. I don't remember when I started doing it, but I've had one on forever. So just depending on what I'm going through, depending on how I'm feeling, I will toss one on. You and I have both been wearing these here for a while, and it feels like they've been really good.
I've gotten a new one when I went to Florida.
Oh yeah, what do you
so
have
when I
on
went
now?
to Florida, this one I got, it's like a compass kind of north, south, east, and west. That. And then this one is another one my girlfriend got me. And
nice.
The comfort item that goes with me everywhere, and I don't need to have them on necessarily. I need to have them with me. It's like some people need Valium. I need my headphones. And it's just my security blanket is what I call it. Because in the event that I get a phone call, I don't know why, I'm just not about to be like this or on speakerphone. That's not happening.
You answer phone calls? You're so brave.
Some people prefer it.
That's so funny because the next thing I was going to ask is, do you do anything dramatically mundane? And you said you answer phone calls.
Dramatically mundane.
Dramatically mundane. So like yelling nope at your inbox or naming your plants. Like, talking to them. So like I name the nuisance animals around my house. So like the gophers who dig up my yard, leave holes in my yard. Now I give them names so that I don't get quite so angry at them when they leave divots in my yard. I'll be like, Edward, don't do that. Like we talked about.
Oh, that's interesting that personalizing it. That's interesting that personalizing it makes it less for you. Because for me, if I can remember someone's name, I am angry longer.
Really? Interesting. No, giving it a name makes it more relatable for me. Makes it something that I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe he's having a bad day. I don't know if somebody took Ed's nuts today or something. How would I know? Uh, so yeah, I do. Oh, definitely yelling nope at my inbox. I probably cuss my phone out more than anyone else. And yeah, dramatically mundane. Answering phone calls. Man, I do, but I hate it. And before I answer it, I'll be like, why are you calling me? That's silly. Don't do that. This could have been an email. Literally everything could have been an email. Except for you. I do like to call you about 20 times a day. But that's your burden as my sister and my boss.
I have
But
a theory on phone calls. Can I give you my theory on phone calls? That I don't know if this
absolutely.
will reduce anxiety for other millennials, but or Gen Z. I don't know who has the anxiety about answering phones or calling phones, but anyway, if they're busy, they won't answer.
Uh, yeah. I think for me, it is the fear of the unknown
Oh, yes, that's a big one that
more
is a
than the fear that I'm
commonality.
bothering someone. I don't think that
Oh,
it is any fear of bothering someone. I think that my phone call anxiety, and I think the reason that it is such a millennial and Gen Z and commonality between our generation area is because we went through the 9/11 and the pandemic and all of these things that created so much uncertainty and so much unknown that as we have a large scale wound where we dislike the unknown. So no, we don't want to call and make an appointment because we don't want to know that something unknown is going to happen. We don't want to know that there's going to be a date in the future where we're going to have to do something because that's just unknown. And so just that subconscious knowledge that there's going to be an unknown thing happening prevents us from wanting to do that task. So I think it is purely fear of the unknown. And I think the success and the rise in success of things like online scheduling is because it puts some power in the hands of those of us that hate the unknown to go in and pick a day
I remember
that we want to do something.
the first time I taught my little cousin how to refill her prescription through the internet without having to make that phone call. And she's almost 30 now, but at the time she was like 18 or 19. She was like, thank you.
Just a relief, just an overall sense of relief. The only way that I get over those things, and it really falls into this small, weird coping mechanism, is kind of the same way that I get my house clean, that I get dressed in the morning. I dramatize it. So it's not dramatically mundane. It is dramatized. I am playing a character when I call someone on the phone. I am professional, Emily. Hello. Hi. I need to make an appointment today. Or maybe when I'm cleaning my house, I am Cinderella today. Or, that's what I was when I was a little girl. In fact, I once had my grandmother make me the pre Cinderella dress. Not
The
the post Cinderella
one where
dress.
she was scrubbing the floors.
She tried to make me the post Cinderella dress. Bless that woman's entire heart. I told her I wanted a Cinderella dress. She made me a beautiful dress. I cried. I said, no, I need it to be tattered. I need it to be torn because I have chores to do and I need to look the part. Like I, I came out this way. I need to be, I need to be in costume in order to get the job done, And it's the same for phone calls. That's
I
my
do a
coping
similar thing with
mechanism. I've
cleaning.
got to,
I clean like Pippi
yeah.
Longstocking, and I have the shoes for it too.
Yes. I love that
They're the
concept.
mop shoes. They sell them on Amazon. Just type in mop shoes. They're a thing.
It's Pippi Longstocking. Longstocking. Uh, what is your bare minimum for survival mode days? Because I would say my bare minimum is pretty weird. Um, Usually my minimum is lip gloss and mascara.
Uh,
That's probably pretty silly. But like if I'm in survival mode and I need to feel better, I'm gonna put on some lip gloss and some mascara.
I guess if I'm in survival mode, I would want to fuel my body, and so that would be food, would be it.
That's real logical, sis. That's super logic. That's why I call you 20 times a day because you ask me questions like, did you eat anything? And I'm like, no, but I look nice, right?
Got the lip gloss.
Right.
Go get it in shore.
But for those of you following along at home, she did ask me if I actually drank anything today when I had sent her the script and made several phone calls and called you, I think 3 times. And I was like, no, not quite yet, but let's get to recording. Thank you for joining Therapy Unlocked as we discuss weird coping mechanisms and emotional support beverages. Please join us next week as we round this conversation out. You can find us anywhere where you listen to podcasts. We hope you'll also join the conversation with us on Instagram and YouTube. Please chime in the comments with your emotional support beverages, your funky coping mechanisms, and your opinions on the episode. Until next time, we are Therapy Unlocked. We are unlocking the mind, one conversation at a time, and having a few laughs along the way. Have a great day.